Well, guys, it's not every day that I get a viewer-requested review for a movie that hasn't even come out yet. So anyway, let's get started and talk about Welcome Home. Welcome Home was written and directed by Maurandis Berger and stars Maurandis Berger and John Rain and follows the story of a man named Marquise who has spent 5 years in prison and finally is let out and returns home to his adoptive father and adoptive brother who is dealing with drug abuse. And soon a family tragedy causes him to go down a path of revenge and vengeance. First off, before I start with the review, I do want to thank Maurandis Berger for contacting me and allowing me to see a rough cut of his film before it was released and do a review on it. If you guys don't remember, sometime last year, Maurandis contacted me to do a trailer review for one of his short films, and so I'm just doing this yet again. He's got a new film coming out, and I want to talk about it. First off, I do want to say that this is a very low-budget film and doesn't have the production qualities of a major release and even has a much smaller budget compared to other independent films. But that doesn't make this film any less great. This is a really good film and a solid outing for Maurandis Berger. I could tell by watching this that this is a film that is very personal and was something that I really felt that Maurandis really wanted to make, and that was what really got to me, which was the passion behind not only the camera, but the performances and the directing overall. I haven't seen much of Maurandis' filmography, but showing this, it really shows that he has a talent for behind the camera. The cinematography, for the most part, is really good, as well as the editing, and for a rough cut of the film, that's not too bad. The pacing is really lightning fast. This movie flies by. In fact, it's only a little over an hour, which might seem really short, and there's just a lot of stuff that goes on in the film, and it has a really quick pace to it. And something else about the film is the dialogue is really solid, as well as the performances. Maurandis Berger gives an excellent performance as the lead character, Marquise. He's really good and deals with that struggle of coming back home, and his relationship with his adopted father and his adopted brother is really heartwarming. There's some great scenes earlier on in the film between these three characters that really makes you feel that these characters are, family, and the actors feel like family with each other. They have great chemistry, especially with Maurandis and John Rain, who plays the father figure in this film, who gives a really good performance in this film. Like, I was surprised how good John Rain was in this film. He's actually not in the film that much and has about 3 scenes that really stood out to me, and a lot of that is due to not only his performance, but the dialogue in which he's saying, as well as the music that plays during these sequences that deals with just what he's going through, the loss he's had, and it's just really stellar acting, and I commend him. Maurandis Berger did a great job of casting this guy. It's just really good. And I won't lie, I'm a sucker for revenge thrillers, and this is a revenge thriller in the most basic sense. This film is honestly dirt simple, but what makes it is the fact that there's so much heavy weight put to this film, such as we're dealing with drug abuse, which plays heavily into the film, especially when it comes to Marquis' brother. But overall, for a low-budget film, this film is really solid. Now, in terms of negatives with the film, I'm not going to be too harsh on the film, mostly because this was a rough-cut version of the final product we're going to get, like such things as I was watching it at a lower resolution, but Maurandis told me that the film will be much clearer when it's finally released, which is really good, as well as I will say that sometimes maybe the pacing is a bit too fast, and the movie just really blows by at points, especially once we get to the end. There's a lot of setup for this film, and then the latter half is really just rushing to get to the end. But it really wasn't that big of a problem with me because I was still incredibly entertained throughout. Now, sometimes when it comes to the acting, it can be a little bit stiff with some actors. However, I do understand that some of these might not be exactly, trained actors, but what does work is just Maurandis' directing of them, the way the scenes are written, as well as the editing that really helps the film out a whole lot. Guys, I actually did really enjoy this film, and I thought it was just a lot of fun to watch, and it's just great watching independent films from just really young and up-and-coming directors. Maurandis is kind of an idol of mine almost, because I want to get into film, and I just haven't had that first step. And in fact, he's really had that first step. He's making a ton of short films, he's making movies, and he's living the dream, and I respect him for that. I'm gonna give Welcome Home a 7 out of 10. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you check out Maurandis' film once it's finally released. I don't know whether it's going to be on YouTube or somewhere else. I'm not exactly sure, but really check it out, and also check out his other stuff on his YouTube channel at ImJaredRoss Films on YouTube, as well as maybe look him up on his Instagram as well. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review.